Are you feeling trapped in your career? Maybe you have progressed to a certain level, but you don't want to go any higher because your current role is already stressful enough. And you don't want to retrain to something totally new overnight because, well, you'd have to take too much for a pay cut. And you don't fancy a sideways move either because, well, what's the point? If you're resonating with any of these and are in any way analytically minded, you probably also recognize the analysis paralysis of exploring so many options and finding the flaw with all of them that further cement the feeling of being stuck just where you are. And if you are resonating with that, today's video is just for you. If we haven't met before, I'm Lara Meyer, researcher turned coach, and I help people with curious minds move from analysis to action so that they can make their dream career a reality. Now, first of all, we have to talk about identifying the things that might make you feel stuck in your career. So the people that I work with tend to have backgrounds in research, data, or other problem-solving careers. And as such, when there stops being a challenge in the current role, you'll probably start to feel stuck. And, you know, it's like when you've done the same kind of project for so long that you can almost do it with your eyes closed. You can see the outputs before you even begin, and you know the points where it will go wrong. Now, this kind of expertise is amazing and it's hugely valuable to your company and team, but it might leave you feeling a bit flat and demotivated. So again, you feel stuck. Now, maybe instead you're feeling like the stressors at your current level are actually taking a toll on your health and well-being. But you know what? That's just what it's like at your level. You know, leading teams, being the point person for clients can feel exhausting sometimes when you have an analytical mind. Often we tend to be a bit more introverted, and this level of engagement can take its toll. Yet, if you feel trapped, especially if you've been at your company for a while, you've probably built up a pretty nice reputation. So you also get a bit more flex in other areas as a result. And you'd actually rather not give up that status that you have literally worked so hard for. Now, another factor I see is that some people, they feel like they've got an inkling that, you know, the work that they're doing right now is okay, but it's not helping to change the world in any kind of impactful or meaningful way. And that's bothering you a bit. You're not doing something that better aligns with your values or your aspirations. But the tricky thing with that is meaningful work is not always well-paid work. Do you want to save the world, or do you want to have a comfortable life for you and your family? And that again can feel like an impossible choice. So you stay stuck. And, you know, when you layer all of these on top of one another, it can feel so overwhelming to even make sense of it all, let alone articulate what it is you really want. But unfortunately, the longer you go on feeling this certain sense of unease and unhappiness, but not fundamentally doing anything to take action on resolving it, this is exactly what leads you to stress, burnout, decreased motivation, can even affect your health and relationships outside of work. And I've been there, and I don't want that for you. Now, personally, I had to work through plenty of this stuff myself. And in fact, it's not just a one-time job. It is a process of assessing, defining what you want, getting some help with that, making some moves, checking back in to see, are you actually going in the right direction, and course correcting if needed, and then assessing all over again. When I work with clients on getting unstuck, there is often a lot more to it than simply their career aspirations too. There are so many underlying factors that may contribute to these feelings, whether it's societal expectations or self-imposed limitations, fear of change, external pressures. You know, we examine it all to really understand the root causes of your discontent, as well as talking about your dreams and aspirations without any limits, so that you can gain real clarity and perspective on your situation and what you want for the future. Now, I've supported clients with this so many times that I've developed a process called Elevate Your Path, which takes you from that messy ball of ideas, worries, limitations on what's possible for you through to absolute clarity on what you want, as well as a little spark of courage to take your first few action steps. For example, a client of mine was super stressed and on the verge of burnout, having been doing two people's jobs for just over 6 months after their manager moved on to a new role internally. And then when someone external was hired in for the manager role that they'd been filling in for, they couldn't believe it. That was exactly what they'd been working so hard for. But then they started to see more of the stuff that their new boss had to take on, and actually they were relieved. You know what? It was a wake-up moment. They said, I can see I don't actually want to do that role now. I want something that is not so stressful. I want something that is not so full of managing other people. But I don't know what I do want to do instead. And this is so common, not knowing what you do want. Now, in this example, what our work together uncovered was, rather than going into upper management, this person loved getting their hands dirty, so to speak. They loved building products. Innovation was meaningful to them. And they loved working on small teams rather than in huge organizations. Now, it sounds really simple now, and it is with the right guidance and support. Without it, you can get there too, but in my experience, it's much longer, harder, and way less enjoyable. So if you've been feeling stuck for some time, and for some clients that I work with, they have felt like this for years before they make the move to get clear on what they want, please know it's not impossible, and the process that I've made is a brilliant shortcut to get you started. Now, whether you believe you can or you can't redefine your career so it's more meaningful and joyful, then you are right. So if you're feeling stuck and trapped in a meaningless or soul-sucking career or job, then I hope what I've shared today has inspired you to believe it's possible to make changes. The first step is being able to define your new destination. So check out Elevate Your Path, where clearly defining your destination and taking that first courageous step towards it is something that we get done in 90 days or less. I would absolutely love to support you if this is something that you're looking to work on this year. And if you like this content, please hit like and subscribe for more updates.